adds up, guys. It doesn't matter who you are or how gifted or how freakish of an athlete you are. That adds up. You hear guys like Adrian Peterson right now saying he doesn't know, and this is just from beginning of the season to the end of the season now, to the off season. Beginning of the season, he was like, I could see myself playing until 40, no problem. Now, here it is the off season, and he's like, man, I don't like this. This will affect how long I end up playing. So sure, we got these young guys retiring from concussions, but now we got guys, great players, Calvin Johnson, Adrian Peterson, coming out and saying the grind, this whole year-round, non-stop, veterans having to take extra reps in the offseason that they don't need to be ready, is wearing them down. It's taken away the love of the game. It's that business side. I have to be here. I have to be doing this. These guys all start because they love the game. Like me, like you guys out there. They loved it. It put a smile on their face. They liked being around the fellas. They liked hanging out. Now it's to the point they've made some money. Their bodies have taken a beating. And the smart ones, not the ones who are just so in love with football like I would have been, for sure. I would have played till the wheels fell off completely. They would have had to stretcher me out. But the smart ones are going, you know what? I got kids. I got a wife. I got a family. I want to be around and be able to do stuff with them. And I'm young enough and financially stable. I can do that. I got other things I can do. And I'm sorry, as much as I love football, I like to see that. I like to see the guys go, you know what? I've done it. I've done what I set out to do. I'm happy with what I've done, and I'm going to move on now. There's nothing wrong with that. And all this talk about will he, won't he? Oh, Calvin's going to come back. We saw him in New England. He's going to be playing for the Patriots. Oh, he was down in Miami. That means he's visiting the Dolphins. No. And like Dave Burkett wrote for the Free Press today as he was covering this, Calvin said he's not coming back. There's no chance. He's content with what he's doing right now. He got married. He's got a 2-year-old son he gets to spend time with now, a lot more time with and be around. And he gets to travel the world. He probably already is traveling the world, like Dave Burkett said in his article. Okay? He's going to be able to do what he told his mom he was going to do and finish college. Go back to Georgia Tech and get his business degree. He's 30 credits away or something, Dave wrote. Now this is a man, I love him, okay? I'm a Lions fan. I love Calvin Johnson. To me, he's second all-time to Jerry Rice. And had his career been as long as Jerry Rice, he would have been the greatest of all time. Because what he can do in his generation, again, we're not crossing generations to compare players, but what he would have been able to do in this generation of football, had he played the same number of years as Jerry Rice, it wouldn't have mattered. He's had down years the past couple years because of injuries, because of games missed, and he's still getting 1,200 yards, 80 to 100 catches, and 10 touchdowns a season. Okay? So let's just let the guy go. He's the all-time leader in Lions history in catches at 731. He's got over 11,600 receiving yards in his career and 83 receiving touchdowns on what all of you would classify as bad football teams. These aren't guys that are superheroes. These aren't comic book characters. We have to remember they're people, and it's okay for them to make a non-football decision even though they're football players. And I respect him for that. I respect that he is just going to go out there now and he's going to continue his free football camps for kids. And the Calvin Johnson Jr. Foundation is going to continue putting kids in college and giving out scholarships. Good for you. Good for you, Calvin Johnson. Good for you. Much respect. I hope everything works out for you really well. Now, another thing, moving on, that hopefully this works out really well for everybody involved. And, I watched it the other night. Maybe you guys watched it the other night. That was the NBA draft, right? Now, I told you I'd watch it and report back on anything. I told you I was looking to see if there was any big trades, or I wanted to see if the Nuggets would try and make a splash. They didn't. There was rumors that they tried to move up to the third pick, but there was no big splash. In the lottery, all the lottery picks, nothing really surprised me too much. The Thon Maker pick at 10 for Milwaukee, that one caught me off guard. I was thinking maybe he would slip into the second round because of nobody knowing how old he was. Outside of that, what? Domantas Sabonis. That one I liked because I liked Arvydas Sabonis. So it was cool to see his son get drafted. I really was hoping Buddy Hield was going to fall to the Nuggets at 7. New Orleans picked him up at 6. Good for them. That's a great player to put there with Anthony Davis. Minnesota picked up a great guard in Chris Dunn. I like that pick because I've already told you on previous shows, I really think what Minnesota's got going on up there with their young talent, if they get a few moves, if they can get one little veteran piece, that's a very athletic, young, good basketball team they're building up there. The Lakers, I don't know. Brandon Ingram went up on the stage, and maybe some of you guys have seen this meme going around. He looked like SpongeBob up there with them long, skinny old legs. Lakers are going to have to put some meat on him. What is he, 6'10", 205? He need to be playing at probably another 20 pounds for the NBA game. Even Kevin Durant, when he came in, had to put on some weight because he was such a beanpole. You put that yellow hat on Brandon Ingram, and he just looked like a long-legged SpongeBob out there. Ben Simmons, good for him, number 1 pick. Part of the ongoing reclamation project for the Philadelphia 76ers. It's cool to be the number 1 pick. It's too bad that the number 1 pick never gets that chance to be on a good team, however, right? So, that's the draft. There's nothing too big for me coming out of the draft, nothing too exciting. We'll see how free agency goes. There's a lot that could be exciting in free agency, a lot of moves that could be made, a lot of potential trades. And if anybody's paying attention, the Lakers right now are pretty much associated to all kinds of players. They're associated to Whiteside, DeRozan, Paul George, LeBron, DeMarcus Cousins, Jimmy Butler. The Lakers are just trying to get anybody they can. Their sights are set on anybody. And right now they're saying they're going hard for Hassan Whiteside. Which, why wouldn't they? They got Roy Hibbert at center. What's Roy Hibbert been since the Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago against Miami? Nothing. He fell off the map. Can't play defense, can't play offense. He's 7'2". So it's fun to me to hear all the rumors, to speculate, to let my mind wander and go, okay, what's this going to be like? What's that going to be like? But to be real doesn't matter. No, a lot of it's just talk. It's posturing, like I've said before. They're trying to get other teams to think this so they can go and do that. But we'll see how it all plays out. One thing that caught me off guard about all of this free agency talk so far is Whiteside. Him saying that he wants his decision to be made by July 1st. Really? By July 1st? And he says that there's no loyalty being taken into account with his decision. So he's not going to just play back for Miami, even though your current team can give you the most money in free agent contracts, because they can give you that extra year other teams can't. He's saying there's no loyalty that's going to be forced in his decision. To me, that's very disappointing. And if I'm another team and you're flat out saying you don't have no loyalty, that's going to make me think twice before I'm going to go give you 10 to 15, maybe more $1 million a year of my money. Are you kidding me? That, even if that's true, and he wasn't going to let that play a part in his decision, the young man and somebody around him should have said, don't say that out loud. We're going to say, we're going through the process. We're going to look at every offer. We're going to take in all the information. We're going to make a smart decision. He could have said any number of things that if you read between the lines, you could have found the same story. But instead, he looks like a young guy who doesn't really got his head on straight because he's saying, hey, I'm not going to even use that as a negotiating piece. That's not going to be part of my decision at all. And I'm sorry, this is a team sport. Yes, you got to go get paid. You got to get yours. That's the business side. But this is a team sport. You think if he ends up back in Miami, all those guys are going to be like, hey, yeah, no loyalty. Hey, that could be his nickname if he ends up back in Miami next year. Every day of practice, he'll show up, walk in the locker room, hey, no loyalty. Just shouldn't have been said. I don't like it. I don't think it's cool. And if I was on his team, it would have made me lose respect for him. Real talk. Another player I've lost respect for that I really used to like watching play baseball, before all his leg injuries, was Reyes, right? Now, Reyes got himself in a situation in Hawaii, domestic violence. The Rockies didn't play him. Major League Baseball suspended him through March 31st. He's been toiling around in the minor leagues, and it finally came time. The Rockies either needed to trade him or cut him. Now, nobody was going to take him in a trade because he's toxic, because he likes to put his hands on women. So they weren't going to do that. But as soon as he cleared waivers, his old team, the Mets, they jumped all over it. Said, yeah, we'll sign you back to a minor league contract. You served your suspension. You had your punishment. You deserve a job and a second chance. Really? Really, New York Mets? Really? That's what you would be hearing if you made a smart choice. This is what you should be hearing today from all of your fans. And you know how New Yorkers are. It would be much worse than that. I'd have to bleep it just to put it on for y'all. Now, you could have gotten cheers by coming out and making a press release saying, yes, Jose Reyes is a former Met. We respected what he did with his time here when he was here. But to put all the rumors to rest, the Mets do not and will not be bringing Jose Reyes back in. That's what they should have done. Then they would have gotten all the fans. But instead, they went and made a dumb move. And in my opinion, now you got a guy who's toxic, whose skills have diminished, who's injury riddled. And what'd you bring him back for? Because he used to be good for you? No, I'm sorry. I go with what these NFL teams are doing with the other guys who hit women. Now, it doesn't mean they don't deserve to work or they don't deserve to go and make money and provide for themselves or a second chance somehow, some way. But professional sports, to me, is a privilege. It's a luxury. It's not what all these guys out there want to talk about. Oh, you're 18, you deserve the right because you can go to war. No, the NFL, Major League Baseball, all of these things are a privilege. You are the best of the best. You are representing your team and other people. It's not an individual thing. It's not all about you. It's not a me thing. It's a privilege. It's a privilege for the adult level of your individual sport. And if you're going to go out there and do stupid stuff to ruin your privilege, no, you don't get another chance at it. You break the law, your privilege for something like that, to go out and make millions of dollars to play a game. That should be taken away, if nothing else. I'm sorry, that's what I think. I don't like that Leonard Little got all of his DUIs and killed people and he got to play football. I don't like that Dante Stallworth got to take away a father from his family and continued to play football. No, these are things that you don't get to come back from. Even Michael Vick's situation, which, I'm sorry, I'm not into dogfighting. I don't condone violence against animals. But for him to get 2 years and the other guys we've mentioned or talked about to not get anything when his offense was against animals and other offenses resulted in death of human lives, I don't agree with the sentencing. I understand it. I understand the uproar and how people feel about dogs in this country. He shouldn't have gotten a chance to come back and make millions of dollars either. You break the law, your privilege to play a game for millions of dollars goes away. Sorry. You want to coach? Maybe you can find a coaching job. If you can figure out how to get into the front office, good for you. But you will not, if it was my team, get paid millions of dollars anymore once you've broken the law in a horrible way. Like putting your hands on a woman, violence against kids, sexual crimes, violence against animals. I'm sorry. Those are things that take away your privilege, not your rights. Not your right to earn money. Your privilege to earn that much money playing a kid's game. Now that's all I'm going to talk about that because I'm going to start getting heated. Moving on to somebody else who has to be heated right now and seems heated and seems desperate and worried. Johnny Manziel's dad. I don't know if you guys saw the comments that came out this week, but Mr. Manziel flat out said his son's a druggie. He doesn't